Of the home front, 4 people have been killed in an explosion at the Catholic Mass in the southern Philippines on Sunday morning. These stories plus more are packaged in this edition. We take a break to be back with the news bulletin. Welcome back to Newsnet and thanks for rejoining. Augustine Bill Cody comes in with the news bulletin.
The outgoing ruling coalition for democratic change has endorsed Representative Funati Kofal as its candidate for the Speaker position at the House of Representatives. The Deputy Speaker of the 54th Legislature is among several other individuals opting for the Speaker position at the incoming 55th Legislature. CDC Chairman Moba Malou told a news conference during the weekend the party's decision follows extensive internal consultation of the National Executive Committee and the CDC Legislative Caucus. He calls on all independent candidates and like-minded members of the incoming 55th Legislature to support Councillor Kofal as the consensus candidate of the CDC for the Speaker position. The decision is the hope of CDC longtime Representative Thomas Farah, who sources say was contemplating on vying for the Speaker position at the House of Representatives. Meanwhile, the soon-to-be former ruling party has warned the incoming administration of President-elect Joseph Boakai against bad governance, witch hunt, and misrule. Chairman Malou said the party will fight with its sweat and blood to protect the interests of Liberians, especially members of the CDC. A general arrest order has been issued on one of the civil law could be sheriffs, Poblet Wie, who is said to be on the run with $9,500 given to him for safekeeping by the court. The writ of arrest issued on December 1, signed by the resident George Usman Fekai, mandates all security officers in Liberia to effectuate the arrests at any time, even on holidays and after working hours, and detain the defendant at any nearby detention center. According to a court document, defendant Weird has been held with contempt for allegedly escaping justice after receiving the amount of money. Additional information received also reveals that Sheriff Weir has switched off his phone and cannot be reached up to press time. The management of the Jackson F. Dole Memorial Referral Hospital in Nimba County is calling for increased budgetary support for quality health care delivery to its men and patients in and out of the country. The management, among other things, highlighted the lack of fuel to run the generator, no operational vehicles, limited salaries for its men and contractors, and a host of other challenges. The call from the Jackson F. Dole Hospital comes ahead of preparations for a new budget year following the outgoing administration reported failure to meet the hospital's required budgetary expectations in 2023. In an interview with this station interpreted over the weekend, the medical director and CEO of the hospital, Dr. Connie Dolo, said with budgetary support, more can be done to enhance the ongoing work at the health facility. Speaking earlier, the chief financial officer of the hospital, Bill Kroll, added that the major constraint affecting the hospital is the issue of power. President George Weah has re-echoed the need for the international community, particularly big powers, to undertake inclusive and practical approaches in tackling the growing threats of global warming and climate change. The Liberian leader underscored the impacts of global warming on the world and mankind while urging delegates to act in earnest principles and commitments made at previous meetings. He was addressing the ongoing conference of parties on Saturday in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. World leaders at the conference are stressing the importance of collective action to stop climate change and the critical role of finance in the low carbon transmission. President Weah told the conference delegates that on the back of COP26 and COP27, and the year 2003 has been characterized by record-breaking heat, droughts, flooding, and other disasters caused by climate change. He called for the re-evaluation of the progress they have made so far towards achieving aspirational goal of limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees centigrade by 2030. A senior member of the late Joshua Solomon family says all they want is peace and to ensure their son is given a befitting burial. Abraham Van told this station the family do not intend to seek any vengeance of justice for the death of their son Joshua, rather they only need peace and justice. Van indicated while they regret the passing of Joshua, there was appeal made to the public by the family for Joshua to seek medical attention, but to no avail. He blamed security institutions, the media, and the public in general for doing nothing to flag the situation of Joshua when the family needed the help of everyone. Abraham Van maintains that the family is more focused on putting their son to rest. Christopher Water Sisulu Sivili, a member of the UL Student Unification Party who was victim of brutal attacks and torture during the 2022 Independence Day celebration, has broken silence from exile, calling for justice into situations involving his life. Civilly accuses a group believed to be affiliated with the Coalition for Democratic Change of orchestrating the atrocities against him. Last year, Civilly and several SUP members staged a protest in front of the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia, characterizing the CDC government of various issues during Liberia's Independence Day celebration. However, members of a group known as CDC COP reacted the SUP protest with physical attack, thereby leading to the brutal attack on Sisulu Civilly. The young Liberian told OKFM on Sunday that he is currently under trauma as a result of the situation which occurred on July 26 last year. Christopher is, however, calling on the incoming government to look into the case and prosecute those involved. The administration of Graham Vassar University says it is suspending academic activities for 2 days due to inaccessibility of the bridge leading to the university main campus. The main bridge, which connects Buchanan to Pinsbury, where the university is located, got damaged nearly 4 years ago, leaving students and the administrators to use a makeshift bridge. But speaking to the station on Sunday, the spokesman of the Graham Vassar University, Isaac Seagal, asserted modalities have been worked to recondition the temporary bridge and provide easy access for the students and administrators. According to Seagal, there has since been delay from the national government after groundbreaking ceremony was carried out by the Ministry of Public Works, but to no avail. Nimba County Senator Prince Johnson says the change of power through democratic means is an indication that Liberians are now opening their eyes on how the state natural resources and economic dividends affect their lives. He expressed confidence that Liberians will never accept any government whose official sole objective is to enrich themselves and turn blind eyes on issues affecting the ordinary people. Senator Johnson made the statement when he delivered his Summit sermon at the appreciation services organized by the Christ Chapel of Faith for the successful hosting of a peaceful election in Liberia. According to him, the country deserves experienced leaders where Liberians will never give individuals who turn their blind eyes power. The government of Liberia, through the National Fisheries and Aquaculture Authority and the government of Morocco, have begun preparations ahead of the conduct of the second fisheries stock assessment on Liberian waters. NAFAL, in a release, said the preparatory works began Friday, December 1, following the arrival of a high-power technical fisheries delegation from the Kingdom of Morocco. The second independent stock assessment will take place in May-January 2024 with technical assistance from the Moroccan government. The four-member delegation include Adi Malik Faraz, Director of the National Institute of Research, Alik Afiyad Najab, and Miss Sukani Zizal, all from the National Institute of Research of Morocco. The first fish stock assessment under the CDC-led government was conducted in August 2023 with technical assistance from the governments of Guinea and Senegal, with the provision of the Guinean research vessel Lassana and Conte. Previously, the Moroccan delegation held discussions with the Director General of NAFA, Madame Emma Glasgow, at NAFA's corporate headquarters on Bourgeois Island, re-emphasizing the government's preparedness to assist Liberia conduct a second scientific fish stock assessment. Responding, Madame Glasgow appreciated the governments through the Liberian government and expressed a deep satisfaction and appreciation to the government of the Kingdom of Morocco for maintaining their commitment to Liberia. The Civil Society Network of Liberia has reacted to allegations linking the president of the Liberia Football Association, Mustafa Raji, to inflicting the cost of the construction of the LFA headquarters for personal aggrandizement. There have been accusations that Mr. Raji connived with the contracting company CSAV Liberia to inflate the cost of the construction of LFA headquarters by additional $319,000 for his personal enrichment. The Civil Society Network of Liberia, in a press release, said following the allegation, it immediately launched a full-scale investigation involving all stakeholders related to the contract to ascertain the veracity of the allegation. According to this network, its investigation proved that the allegation that LFA president received kickbacks from CFA Liberia to inflict the cost of LFA headquarters construction is far-fetched and groundless. The civil society group said findings from its investigation established additional cost of US $319,000 for the construction of the LFA headquarters was approved by the LFA Selection Committee and not Raji as an individual. The Workers' Union of the National Transit Authority has broken grounds for its office space within the institution's compound along the Japan Freeway. The union's chairman, Armstrong Kawa, puts the cost of the construction of the workforce office at $15,000. According to him, the NTA Workers' Union office contains a conference room as well as different offices for those in leadership. Kawa then added such construction is made possible through the contribution of dues from individual members of the Workers' Union at the National Transit Authority. For his part, NTA Human Resource Officer Para Nelson thanked the Workers' Union for their farsightedness to constructing an office space from where the leadership can work. The Deputy Minister for Children and Social Protection at the Ministry of Gender is calling for safe environment for every child in Liberia. Minister Lydia May Sherman said children's rights must be protected in several ways, including right to education, health care, expression, participation, and justice, among others. She made the disclosure at a news conference during the weekend ahead of the celebration of the 69th anniversary of the International Children's Day, which is scheduled for this Thursday, December 7. This year's International Children's Day is being observed on a global theme for every child, every right, and a local theme which says investing in children's rights. The Deputy Gender Minister said this year's edition, which has been delayed as a result of the just-ended elections, will begin with a symposium in Kakata, Mangibi County. According to her, the Speaker of the Children's Parliament and other great speakers will motivate the over 500 children that will gather in commemoration of the day. A ranking officer of the Armed Forces of Liberia is calling for concerted efforts in combating the scourging effects of HIV and AIDS in the country. Assistant Chief of Staff for Medical Services, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Cole, said HIV and AIDS is still a global threat to peace, human rights, and the happiness of individuals. Delivering the oration at this year's World AIDS Day in Monrovia, the AFL officer said more than 1,000 Liberians died every year from HIV and AIDS associated causes around the country. And away from Liberia, South African authorities have intercepted dozens of buses transporting 443 children, all under the age of 8, into the country from neighboring Zimbabwe. This follows a certain operation conducted by the South African Border Management Authority and the police at the Bridge border post on Saturday night. And that's the shape of the news bulletin. It's back to Fatu Kamara.
The news bulletin there hitting up to 18 minutes past 6 o'clock. A reminder you are listening to Newsnet on OKFM 99.5 and headlines we're following this morning. Why endorsing Representative Kofa's candidacy for Speaker position at the 55th Legislature, whereas outgoing government cautions Boakai's incoming administration against bad governance, witch hunt and misrule. One of several law could be sheriff on the run for allegedly escaping with 9,500 United States dollars given to him by the court for safekeeping. Government-run Jackson F. Doe Referral Hospital in Nemba County lacks basic logistics with low budgetary allotment, leading to poor healthcare delivery. Off the home front, 4 people have been killed in an explosion at a Catholic mass in the southern Philippines on Sunday morning. We take another break to be back with the actualities. Welcome back to Newsnet. Let's take our first development. The management of the Jackson F. Doe Memorial Referral Hospital in Nemba County is calling for increased budgetary support for quality healthcare delivery to its many patients in and out of the country. The management, among other things, highlighted the lack of fuel to run the generator, no operational vehicles, limited salaries for its many contractors, and a host of other challenges. In an interview with this station in Tapita over the weekend, the medical director and CEO of the hospital, Dr. Corny Dolo, said with budgetary support, more can be done to enhance the ongoing work at the facility.
We are fully funded by the government of Liberia, so I think all the things we're talking about, fuel and personnel and all the other stuff, maintenance, equipment, patient, drugs, feeding, all these things, are dependent on budget support. So this is what we've always championed and we'll continue to say. The budget of the hospital has to be increased.
So with good budget, we got good service.
Absolutely. Money is everything. So we have good budget, adequate budget. We can fund the services. We can invest. It's just not offering service we want. And then, for example, I give you, we need an orthopedic surgeon, right? We don't have a bone doctor, as you call it, right? We don't have in Liberia. Now you see this is along the major thoroughfare, right? The road here, all the trauma patient accidents along the road, and the road is being made. Unfortunately, when roads are better, these things, get more. So all the trauma patients here, they come here. People have an accident and so on. So they come to the hospital. We need orthopedic surgeon. This is one thing that we are trying, we are advocating with budgetary support. We can put people on payroll, we can hire new. We got 7 consultants, international consultants, right? And we have 4 Liberian consultants as well, right? So we have to be something. And I mean, people from the southeast, this is the first point of call, in terms of referral as well. And so I think with budgetary support, we can hire more doctors. We need more nurses as well in this hospital as well. And I think we're going to do more. So budget is key.
The medical director and CEO of the Jackson F. Doe Memorial Referral Hospital in Nemba County, Dr. Corny Dolo there. Speaking earlier, the chief financial officer of the hospital, Bill Kura, added that the major constraint affecting the hospital is the issue of power.
The budget that was appropriated was $2.4 million. A little what 2.4 of that about 1,746,000 again, salary. And business services is about 752,000. So as we speak right now, like I said, maybe it's a global thing, and we're getting our share of that. We've only received about 40% of what was appropriated for this hospital to date. And we're talking about in December. So when you hear the CEO, the chief administrator, and the CMO talking about operational constraints, that's where it's coming from. Look, one of the key costs, essential costs here is power. You can't do anything without power. That's why the CEO, through his innovation, was able to make sure that we have interventions in terms of solar into this department. Overall, you can't run the CT scan for solar. You can't run most of the equipment on solar. The staffing, there's a new staffing area over there. Most of our people here that are signed here come from Monrovia.
Biokra there is the Chief Financial Officer of the Jackson F. Doe Hospital in Nimba County. Let's take this development. Last week, President George Weah joined other world leaders at the Conference of Parties, also known as COP28, in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. COP28 is the 28th annual United Nations Climate Conference where world leaders are focusing on the importance of collective effort to stop climate change and the critical role of finance in the low-carbon transition. On Saturday, the Liberian leader was given the platform to address the forum, and this is what he had to say.
In my address 2 years ago at COP26 in Glasgow, I call attention to the inherent imbalance in the current architecture of climate change financing. I suggested that there needs to be a fundamental shift in the way that we tackle this mismatch in climate investment. Today, let me reiterate that major greenhouse gas emitting countries we need to develop new initiatives for emissions reductions and not only fulfill, but significantly increase the financial pledges that they have previously made for funding United Nations Climate Financing Initiative. At the same time, care should be taken to overhaul and regulate carbon credit financing mechanism to ensure more transparency and accountability so that they are not used merely as an avenue for high emitters to avoid responsibility for reducing emissions. Vulnerable nations such as Liberia will require more financial support to protect us from the ravages of global warming and climate change. Funding for adaptations and mitigation is crucial. The compensation for the loss and damage already inflicted must be an urgent consideration. Your Excellency, distinguished delegates, and ladies and gentlemen, in our shared stewardship of this global village, let our deliberations at COP28 culminate in resolute decisions and practical initiatives. I challenge each of you to contribute to the preservation of planet Earth, our only home for the sake of generations yet above.
President George Weah, a senior member of the late Joshua Solomon family, says all they want is peace to ensure their son is given a befitting burial. Abraham Van told this station that family members do not intend to seek any vengeance or justice for the death of their son. Rather, they only want peace. Van indicated why they regret the passing of Joshua. There was an appeal made to the public by the family of Joshua to seek medical attention, but to no avail.
Press briefing right now. They don't want big They don't want to be engaging anything pertaining to vengeance or pertaining to seeking justice. No. All they want is peace and how best they can bury their son. So
All right.
that's the only thing I can go to. Even you reach out to his mom, he'll tell you the same thing. Tell the press that if they really wanted to help in this process, they should have come when he was alive so they can contribute to things for better hospital.
Yeah.
So I don't want people coming to ask me whether they want to press charges or whether they want to take any illegal,
Okay.
we're not in a position to go any further. The family want peace and they want to bury their son in peace. That's what they want. They don't want anything further. Number one, that's the thing. The investigation should have started. I posted this video, the video of him being in the hospital, I think like a week ago. You understand? Now one person from media or from police have to call and say, oh, we have video for this person, but now saying he's dead, they're bringing video out. Some other haven't even seen, they're bringing video out. So what the essence? What the essence? There's no essence. We're all here looking for money to send Joshua to hospital, to a better hospital. But nobody could come in to give him. But now he's there, so they want to come. So the family don't need anything. The family just want to see how best they can put their son to rest.
Ibrahim Valde is a senior member of the late Joshua Solomon family, and he says that all they want is peace to ensure their son is given a befitting burial. Last year, Christopher Walter Cecilu Civilli and several SOUP members staged a protest in front of the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia, criticizing the CDC government of various issues during Liberia's Independence Day celebration. During the protest, members of a group known as CDC COP counter-reacted to the SOUP protest with physical attack, thereby leading to the brutal attack on Cecilu Civilli. However, Christopher Walter Cecilu Civilli has broken silence from exile, calling for justice into situations involving his life.
Are you getting July 26th of last year, we were tortured, we were dehumanized, we were humiliated, and we were stripped naked by a supporter who to be of the Liberian government under the presidencies of George Manawia. So since our SAR ordeal, we left the country for advanced medication, and after our advanced medication, we have still receiving some lot of psychological trauma on us because we were very much traumatized after our SAR ordeal. But unfortunately, since our SAR ordeal, we have never received any call from the Ministry of Justice and even from a lawyer, a government lawyer, who claimed to be, giving me justice after my SAR ordeal. So it has been very much unfortunate for me. I have been living in pain, I have been living in agony, and I have been living in, destitution because I have been abandoned by the Liberian government. So unfortunately, those who were indicted by the Liberian government, we saw them few weeks ago or few months ago campaigning for the government. So it was something that was very much unfortunate for me. It still increased my psychological trauma. So I was calling on the to inform the outgoing government that there's a case regarding the 2026 incident, and few individuals were indicted by the government, and so the government can be able to look into that case before they can leave power.
Christopher Walter Cecilu Civilli there of the Students Unification Party of the State-run University of Liberia, there speaking from exile, calling for justice into situations involving his life. The administration of Grand Bassa University says it is suspending academic activities for 2 days due to inaccessibility of the bridge leading to the university campus. The main bridge, which connects Buchanan to Pinsbury, where the university is located, got damaged nearly 4 years ago, leaving students and administrators to use a makeshift bridge. But speaking to this station on Sunday, the spokesperson of the Grand Bassa University, Isaac Siga, asserted that modalities are being worked to recondition the temporary bridge to provide easy access for the students.
The wooden bridge that was connected to the university, it can be recalled the main bridge got spoiled over a year ago, and then there was a groundbreaking ceremony for that bridge. But up to today, that bridge is yet to be constructed. The wooden bridge that is the driveway to the university, the walls are becoming very old, they're rotting under the water, and then just this afternoon, the whole thing broke in, and the bridge now is inaccessible to the university. Meanwhile, the administration of the university has suspended classes for 2 days, beginning tomorrow.
So does that mean that some temporary work will be carried out within the period of the 2 days?
Definitely. Beginning tomorrow morning, the administration has instructed some group of guys to start the work, especially for the end of the university that been managing the bridge, to go immediately tomorrow to start with the process. In fact, they're going to be working day and night beginning tomorrow until that 2 days is elapsed. So
he is Isaac Siga there, the spokesperson of Grand Bassa University, in conversation with Yanti Topa of our staff. Nemba County Senator Prince Johnson says the change of power through democratic means is an indication that Liberians are now opening their eyes on how the state natural resources and economic dividends affect their lives. He expressed confidence that Liberians will never accept any government whose officials' sole objective is to enrich themselves and turn blind eyes on issues affecting the ordinary people.
So what is held now according to God's plan for Liberia? Let the past rest. The war is over. What contribution can we make in building a new Liberia? Some are lazy. They're on the wayside. They drink Taib. They drink Kush. And they just talk. Liberians, if you were blind Bartimaeus, receive a sign. There are many of us today in our country called Liberia or in the world today who got sight, who see physically clear, but spiritually they are blind. We preach the gospel of Christ to affect lives, for the evildoers to change. We preach to affect the thieves, corrupt officials, gays and lesbians, transgenders, drug addicts. The gospel is to be preached, and is preached by people to change nation, to change the world, to change individuals. That's the greatest miracle.
Nemba County Senator Prince Johnson there speaking at the Christ Chapel of Faith Church on Sunday. The Workers' Union of the National Transit Authority has broken ground for its office space within the institution's compound on the Japan Freeway. The cost of the project, according to them, is US $15,000. Here is Amshon Kawa, the chairman of the organization, speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony.
It's all about erecting a modern structure, modern building that will comprise of 3 bathrooms, union offices, and an open area for general meeting, seating capacity. This project, the newly elected leadership who has spent 4 months are not gone nowhere, but see it prudent enough to satisfy the curiosity of the people of NTA who saw it prudent to elect us for the effort to not be wasted. As been promised in our inauguration speech, we choose to undertake this project. So in a nutshell, and we drive in my analysis, This is a union project that comprises of 3 bathroom, offices, and a meeting hall.
Also speaking was NTA Human Resource Officer Para Nielsen.
It gives you that authority. So we're happy that you independently, though management will support you in the process, will give you all our support, but to just come up with this independent innovation, we are happy. It tells us that the young leadership is working assiduously. For us in management, we want stability in NTA. We want cordiality between the workers and us.
National Transit Authority Human Resource Officer Para Nelson there. The Deputy Minister for Children and Social Protection at the Ministry of Gender, Lydia May Sherman, has underscored the need for safe environment for every child in Liberia. Minister May Sherman said children's rights should be protected in several ways, including rights to education, health, expression, participation, and justice, among others. She made the disclosure at a news conference on Friday ahead of the celebration of the 69th anniversary of International Children's Day, which is scheduled for this Thursday, December 7.
The right to education, the right to health care, the right to safety, the right to express themselves, the right to participate in decision-making processes, and so much more. We as society must ensure that these rights are not just words on paper, but the very essence of our collective values and actions. Members of the media, distinguished CBN members, as we commemorate the World Children's Day, we want to re-echo our government's commitment to fostering an environment where children's rights and leadership were not mere aspirations, but concrete realities. However, the government did not do this alone. We must highlight the importance of community involvement, including support from local and international child protection bodies. Particularly the role of the Child Protection Network in Liberia cannot be overstated.
The Deputy Minister for Children and Social Protection at the Ministry of Gender, Lydia May Sherman, the Director of Children Protection Development Division at the Ministry of Gender, Victoria Williams Zawe, also made remarks at the conference.
Comes in every year. UNICEF is actually have been supporting us. So we have close to $40,000 that they have committed. They have committed it to the official celebration. Like what the minister said, we'll be having close to 500 plus children. And then they have also committed to the Mark Eby Symposium, where we have close to 50 children who will be participating.
Victoria Williams Zawe there, the Director of Children Protection Development Division at the Ministry of Gender. If you just join us, you're listening to Newsnet on Oki FM 99.5, 45 minutes of all the news. At the moment, Newsnet brings the news that matters to you. So we take some of the comments you left on Oki FM Facebook post last evening. Ruben Kane writes, he says, good morning, Oki FM, and the peace-loving people of Massa Bolahun Town, Lofa County, for the CDC as a party to endorse Representative Kofa as a Speaker of the House of the 55th Legislature is welcoming, but this should include total involvement of CDC lawmakers with patriotic minds for the growth of the party. For the issue of Jackson F. Doe Hospital to be lack of key medical facility is squarely placed on Senator Prince Ward Johnson and Vice President-elect Senator Jeremiah Cohn of Nimba County, who are alleged of mismanagement of funds for that county. From my pro corner, he says, Garnersville, good morning. James Namplak Poso Fola writes, he says, good morning to the people of Sony Wen Community District 8 and Liberia at large. Frankly, I have willfully ignored contributing these days these few days on this platform because where I have reached thus far, I am constrained to write today. Now I am hoping that the new government under President-elect Joseph Yuma Boakai will be sensitive about sectors that were abandoned under the Weah-led government. The healthcare sector, education, security, agriculture, etc. need to be sufficiently sponsored across the 15 counties. You can't have the buildings very empty, then you say that you have hospitals. I'm calling on the new government to properly manage all of the needed sectors across the country. Liberians should not be going to Ghana and India when they are sick. It is a disgrace, he says. Jefferson STA writes, he says, good morning, OG FM and the peace-loving people of Liberia Newsnet. I'm calling on the 55th legislature to put Liberia first and look for the best person that have both local and international phase, because the role of the speaker is very important for every nation. Thanks, he says. He respectfully submits and writes from his home, Maryland Center, Bannersville Road. Jeke Fokbakoya writes, he says, OK FM, Moba Molu just intensified the campaign against Councillor Kofa. We can never give the speaker position to an opposition and cannot also give it the responsibility. He says it's Jeke Fokbakoya, National Chairman, Liberians United, to elect Joseph Yuma Boakai. And that does it. But before we go, let's recap headlines of our big stories. Why endorsing Representative Kofa's candidacy for the Speaker position at the 55th legislature, whereas outgoing government questions Boakai's incoming government against bad governance, witch hunt, and misrule. One of several law court B. Sheriff on the run for allegedly escaping with $9,500 United States dollars given to him by the court for safekeeping. Government-run Jackson F. Doe Referral Hospital in Nemba County lacks basic logistics with low budgetary allotment, leading to poor healthcare delivery. After Homefront, 4 people have been killed in an explosion at a Catholic Mass in the Southern Philippines on Sunday morning. Augustine Bilkali brought you the news bulletin and the international news